2020 at Blackpool Pleasure Beach marked the 90th anniversary of the famous ghost train attraction. In our video today, we're going down memory lane to take a look at the ghost train's history at Blackpool Pleasure Beach. Like many of Blackpool Pleasure Beach's classic attractions, how we see it today is very different to how it was in its earlier years. In the 1920s, pretzel rides were becoming a big hit in America, which prompted Blackpool Pleasure Beach to buy their own in the late 1920s. Blackpool Pleasure Beach opened their new dark ride, simply known as the Pretzel Ride, in 1930. However, it was renamed to the Ghost Train in 1931. The name Ghost Train was inspired by a popular play called The Ghost Train. The Ghost Train play was a theatre comedy suspense thriller written in 1923 by English actor Arnold Ridley. Following Blackpool Pleasure Beach naming their pretzel ride The Ghost Train, the name Ghost Train became a very popular title for pretzel ride attractions throughout the UK. Blackpool Pleasure Beach have often claimed their ghost train to be the world's original ghost train and the world's most haunted ghost train attraction. Originally, Blackpool's ghost train was a single-deck pretzel ride. However, it was refurbished and enlarged to a double-deck version in 1936, designed by Joseph Emberton. The refurbishment took place during the era of Modernization led by Joseph Emberton at the Pleasure Beach. Emberton's designs, or designs inspired from that era, can still be seen at Blackpool Pleasure Beach to this day, most notably the Grand National Station. During the 1936 refurbishment, the ghost train's small drop through the centre of the ride was added to the attraction. In 1957, the ghost train had further refurbishment and modernisation led by Jack Ratcliffe. During this time, it was slightly relocated from its original location to accommodate the construction of Blackpool Pleasure Beach's newest roller coaster at the time, the Wild Mouse. The location and layout of the ghost train remains the same today as it did after this 1957 refurbishment. However, back then it wasn't styled or themed as it is these days. Theming for the ghost train's facade started to be added from the 1970s. Nostalgic Pleasure Beach fans, like me, will probably say the style it had for the 90s and early 2000s was the best that the ride has ever looked. Who remembers the giant vampire bat above the main entrance with its mist effects? Blackpool Pleasure Beach once featured on a programme called Most Haunted, where claims of the ghost train being haunted by a former employee known as Cloggy were investigated. The rumours and claims of the ride being haunted have stuck with the ghost train ever since. A former joiner who worked at the Pleasure Beach is quoted to have said that at times there was something or someone that watched over us whilst working on the ghost train. Have you ever felt like the ghost train is haunted, or was this just a very, very clever PR stunt to get some extra media attention for the ghost train and Blackpool Pleasure Beach at the time? From the mid-2000s onwards, the ghost train has regularly had changes made to it, whether it be to the facade or inside the ride itself. The vampire bat and the railed queue fencing were removed around 2007-8 kind of time, and from that time onwards, scenes inside of the ride have been completely changed or at least modernised with new things added all the time. Trauma Towers at Blackpool Pleasure Beach closed at the end of 2008. From the 2009 season, it hasn't been uncommon since to see scenes from that attraction being reused to create new scenes inside of the ghost train. Throughout the past 10 years or so, the ghost train's modernisation has continued. Whilst the actual ride itself stays the same, tweaks are made to the scenes or the audio within the ride almost every closed season. The small changes freshen up the ride each time, but at the same time, the ghost train maintains its charm, which helps to keep it as a well-loved Blackpool classic. The ghost train ride experience lasts for roughly 3.5 minutes. Riders can experience this attraction on their own or with a friend, as the carriages take a maximum of 2 people per time. The ghost train can be ridden by children, but the minimum height restriction is 117 centimetres tall to ride unaccompanied, or no height restriction if accompanied by an adult and able to walk to the ride unaided. It's entirely up to you to decide if you take a young child on this ride or not. Some of the scenes may be too scary for a toddler, as an example. The ghost train is a popular classic attraction at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, but the information about this ride's past is limited and quite difficult to find, so I do hope you found this video interesting. The reliable sources used for this history video about the ghost train are the Century of Fun book, Riding on Rainbows book, and Gary Radis's The Magic Eye website. If I have missed anything significant out about the ghost train, please let me know in the comments section below. For more ghost train footage, check out our full on-ride POV of the ghost train filmed in October 2019. Many thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon in the next Pleasure Beach Experience video.